Hello We Are Movie Club, it's me Jenny, and if you don't know what We Are Movie Club is, it's basically a tag game where us people from the movie club, particularly on SourceFed and DeFranco, basically tag each other and review movies. And this week's pick was done by Raymond, who you see in the links down below, and he chose Max and Mary. And my quick review for this film is this is such a beautifully emotive claymation. I just love the way that these characters are portrayed and how empathetic this is. It's just, it really got me in my heart place, and I'm not afraid to say that I cried more than once during this film, and it's the first time I've cried in a long time, and it was very cathartic and definitely brought up some feelings which I haven't felt in a long time. So it was just the way that this film makes you feel, the use of the actual art style, which is very specific and cartoony. You've got these characters that, you know, show so much of their personality through their over-exaggerated faces. How you can see how this little girl can feel this sort of trauma from having a birthmark, and how you you feel with Max that he's slightly off but you're not sure exactly why. And all of these little things that they put into the details, like the first, I love claymations because the first 4 minutes had me just smiling because it was darkly humorous in a very eccentric way, particularly with all the character introductions where you're like, oh, that's dark but funny, and very human and very realistic, and just the details into the backgrounds. I love watching all of the little things and the fact that it's all been handmade and it's so well done. The music throughout was lovely. There was just a recurring theme that just, it gets you in your heart place. I'm not afraid, as I said, to admit that I cried quite a lot during this film. There was at least 2 points that I was tears, and I love the portrayal of these two characters who have very similar and yet very different lives, and how they come together and help each other and improve each other for what they were, and I think make each other happier in the long run, even though of course there's lots of curves in the road. I love the music, I love the voice acting, I love the style, I love the pacing and the script. I like how it's funny and dark and really emotional, and I really wish this film had existed when I was in secondary school, because some of the stuff that went on in my class, if anything, could have upped the empathy level for some of the people in my class. I think at least one student in my class would have had a much nicer secondary school experience, and they didn't. And that's one of the things that affected me, is that I kept thinking about that one student and thinking how horrible their experience must have been. And just, even if this film had existed back then and had changed the perspective of one of the people in that class, that would have made me happier, and it makes me sad in a way that this film didn't exist when it could have helped that person. I love this film, it's beautiful. Thank you for the pick, this was such an amazing pick. I cried, I laughed, and I would recommend it to anyone. This is just so well made, and it's such it's a topic that's rarely discussed in such a blunt and honest way, and I think that's what sold it to me. So thank you so much for the pick. I've already filmed my review for next week's movie club. At the moment it's online and private. I'm not sure when I'm supposed to actually unprivate it, so I'll just keep track of that and see how we go. And this is my review for Mary Max. So I will be reviewing next week's, choosing next week's movie. I've chosen 10 Things I Hate About You, if you don't already know that. And feel free to put out your review, and next week Liam is tagged, so I've already said that a couple of times, but more information the better. Anyway, I am going to go to bed. It's quite late right now. Anyway, bye guys. Amazing film.